Hello world, welcome to the 238th climate change protest here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I'm out on the first day's battle at the railroad cut, and it's a very interesting area in which the Southerners got trapped in here. 200 of them, I believe, or whatever, got taken prisoner because they were trying to sneak through the railroad cut and around the Union troops. Doesn't work. So today is June 14th, 2023, number 238. Next week will be June 23rd, 2023. It's extremely windy, so hopefully the broadcast will be okay. Presently, this is number 238. Presently, the carbon dioxide level is 424.19 parts per million. And only 280 parts per million is safe. Not 350, as 350.org keeps insisting. The reason behind that is up until the year 1750, carbon dioxide during the period of humanity and its growth has always been below 300 parts per million. So 280 was the market in the year 1750. So this railroad track symbolizes climate change, believe it or not. The theory of climate change way back when was that, like this railroad track, they heard rumors of a train, okay? A train was at a distance far, far away. They heard there once trains on this track, or there could be trains on this track, but it's all theory. And that's how climate change was. Just a few years ago, people didn't believe it. It's just rumors of trains. And then suddenly, on a far, far distance, you hear the sound of a train. And that is climate change happening far, far away, but who cares, right? It was happening to another country, another part of the world, doesn't matter. Then the train comes in a distant view, and over the horizon, it comes over the horizon and comes into view with its headlights, and that is climate change happening in our country, the good old USA or wherever you are. And what's happening by that is you have death, property loss, food shortages in the grocery stores. If we weren't trading with other countries or regions, people would have starved to death. Water shortages. The United States is experiencing that in certain areas where they're totally out of water. So that was the train coming in a distant view. Now the train's here. And that symbolizes everything about climate change. It is here now at this present time. Recently, we had smoke from the fires in Canada. It came all the way down here because the direction of the air changed, and it came down 700 to a couple thousand miles away. It was choking everyone out, basically. It's very hazardous to your health and everything. So you had wildfires, floods, drought, heat domes have occurred in the United States, extreme heat. Presently, where our sun's down in Florida, the real feel is 107 degrees real feel. Pretty bad. But over in Texas, the real feel is 117 degrees. So it's vicious what's happening. And then you had the hurricanes. The recent hurricane that hit Florida back 2 years ago, I think it was, or last year, I can't remember. It was Category 1 when it passed Cuba, but it blew up to a Category 4 almost right away. So that's the kind of thing that happens. There's more heat available and water vapor in the air, and so then you end up with these hurricanes that can become lethal all of a sudden. Pakistan and India are experiencing a hurricane right now. Then, after the drama of the smoke passed here, it was the first wave of indication for the East Coast, at least, that something severe was starting to happen. And what happened? Well, the media went back to business as usual. They stopped talking about it. They've gone on to Donald Trump and his trials and everything. My thoughts on that is that just let the court system do its thing, and if he's guilty, he's guilty, and if he's not, he's not, and just let it have at it, rather than cover it for 15 minutes in every broadcast. They're giving away time that could be devoted to climate change, the plights of other countries and the people in that country. A lot of things to be covered, but they don't do it. It's all sensationalism. So the politicians aren't serious about climate change either, Democrats and Republicans. You had this issue that happened with the smoke. Talked about it briefly, some of the people, the politicians, but hardly any. And they went down to business as usual. But they did pass the budget for the United States. And what was hidden in that budget was the Joe Manchin pipeline from West Virginia to North Carolina. And that was part of the done deal for the plan that passed 2 years ago with the Democrats through Congress, and in order to make it firm, now they put it in as part of the budget. Ask me why a pipeline that can kill everyone on Earth, because every little bit is going to kill us now at this point. why a pipeline is in our budget, and why does that become part of the budget, mandatory, that they have to have this pipeline. You have to ask yourself what's going on here, and who's in charge, and why are they doing this, and why have this psychopathic behavior as far as putting out fossil fuels and the life-ending guck that's going into the atmosphere. So the budget, it got into the budget. So these are dirty deals done in back rooms. These are life-ending threats to not only you, but to your children, and especially your future generations, even your grandchildren. Your kids are going to experience a horror show the way we're going right now. So it comes down to a spiritual and moral indignity and affront to all humans. Right now the media is complicit with the corporations and the very wealthy part of the corporations. The people telling them what to do, and the politicians are in bed with them as well, buying power and influence and giving power and influence to the corporations and to the media. I mean, it's a whole circuit going on right now. The pipeline, for example, any politician with any sense of morality should have sat down right there and said, nope, I'm not approving this budget. This is a life-threatening thing. They should have gone in front of the media saying this is a threat to you and your kids and everyone on Earth. But no, they didn't. They went along with it because they go along to get along, worry about getting elected in the next election. These elections are coming to a head where the next election might very well be the last election we ever have. That's the dire situation we're in. You can say it's hysterical, whatever you want. Talk to me in 2 years, let me know what's going on. So the war is still going on. They're still fighting. Now they're threatening, Russians are threatening the use of nuclear weapons. Well, they threaten too much. The United States is crazy enough to start whipping out the nuclear weapons before the Russians do, and they'll go at the Chinese at the same time. So newsflash to everyone, stop doing this. This is ridiculous. The USA plans to get citizens out of Taiwan. They have plans for that, in an emergency. Are they going to go to war with China? Let's just have it. Let's just have at it and just nuke everything. Then we don't have to worry about climate change. It'll all get taken care of in its own way. So basically, these three idiot parties around Russia, China, and especially the United States, with the people in charge in both parties, Democrats and Republicans here, are sick. They're psychopathic in their behavior. They're going along with this, and this is a dire, life-ending event we're going through with climate change. This shouldn't be happening. There shouldn't be any talk of war. There shouldn't be wars going on. There shouldn't be any pipelines being done. There shouldn't be any drilling, as Joe Biden approved, up in the north slope of Alaska, or auctioning off two set of auctions in the Gulf of Mexico, or authorizing 2,600 drilling permits on federal land. This is psychopathic behavior. This should not be happening now. So, what's happening also is this is with this election coming up with Trump and Biden, both are horrible choices, okay? The Republican Party right now is absolutely nuts concerning climate change. They deny it altogether. The Democrat Party is even worse because they're acting like they're behind it, but they're doing actions such as what I just said concerning authorizing things that will end us all, okay? They're saying no, 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 no. We're not going to authorize such things, and then they turn around and authorize it. I don't know who is worse, because is it the person who says, no, I'm not going to do something and doesn't do something, or someone who says, no, I'm not going to do something and then does it anyway? That's called a snake in the grass. So the elections are coming up. Neither party, and I realize I'm on a certain network here, and I thank you for not taking it off yet, but neither party, the way they're acting right now, deserves to be in charge. You people within your parties have to start fighting the people and the politicians within your party and making them aware how upset you are, or you're not upset and you're okay with it, and you think that winning and things, little issues going on, are the big issues of the day. In 2 years, I guarantee you, we're going to have trouble surviving. By 2026, it's going to be very apparent as to what's happening. Okay, so right now, this is an example, just like the Civil War here, making a mistake going down through this railroad cut. You had that out west during Custer's last stand at the Battle of Little Bighorn. The scouts told him, don't go down there, you're going to die. If you do this, you're overwhelmed with forces, and you will get swamped, and you will lose, and most likely nothing will be left of you when you're done. And I'm telling you, this is our Little Bighorn, this is our railroad cut. You keep going down this path, following this railroad track, and you're going to run into disaster. We're on it right now. The train's right in front of us, the light's in our eyes, and we're too blind to see and too deaf and dumb to understand that it's coming right at us. So keep on this path. We won't survive. I'm telling you, get away from your party. Even if you think you're going to lose by voting for a third party, do it. Let them know that you're not going to keep taking it this way. Or start changing things immediately. You don't have much time left. Eventually, one of these elections will be our last election. I'll see you next week. That'll be number 239.